Inde wono aha wamarachi ngoleka
aha mbu ihe na ya blessed former
antata achori korunu ihe mere no n'izu gara aga n'ụwa anyị bi n'ime ya ngwa gee ntị nke ọma.
Anyaso CDA. Ọkammụta Desmond Anyaso bụ onye na-agbasi mbọ ike maka ịjụ inweta ihe ọbụla ọ chọrọ bụ ebumnobi ya. O nwere nchịkọta ma uto pụrụ iche ruru afọ 50 amaara ya na Naịjirịa na mpaghara mba ụwa niile. Ọkammụta Chima bụ mmadụ enweghị ike ịgụcha ihe ọ gbadoro ya anya ọ na-eme. A hụrụ ya na mkpụrụ ụbọchị 16 n'ọnwa Septemba n'otu puku narị 980 ebe a mụrụ ya bụ n'Aba, obodo Enyimba nke steeti Abịa. Ọkammụta Chima bụ onye Igbere nke dị n'okpuru ọchịchị Bende. Ọ gụrụ akwụkwọ praịmarị na sekọndịrị ya n'Abịa wee gaa mahadum steeti Ebonyi, Abakaliki. N'ihi na ọ na-arụ ọgba uru ịgụ akwụkwọ bara, Ọkammụta Chima Anyaso tinyere nnukwu oge n'ịchụso agụmakwụkwọ. Ụfọdụ n'ime nzere o nwere gụnyere BA n'asụsụ Bekee na agụmagụ, MBA Mahadum Lagos, Asambodo Executive Management, BJ Toby College na azụmahịa, Mahadum nke St. John Martin, New York. Chima dịka a kpọrọ ya ma bụrụkwa nwa nwere olileanya, o nwere mmasị dị ukwuu na azụmahịa na nrụpụta ihe onwe, n'agbanyeghị na ọ bụ nwa ikpeazụ nne na nna ya mụrụ ma sitekwa na ezinụlọ na-eme nke ọma. Ọ nọ n'ụlọ akwụkwọ praịmarị na-azụ ụmụ irighiri ahịa iji nwetakwu ego n'oge ezumike. Mkpalite mmụọ azụmahịa Ọkammụta Chima dịka o si kwuo sitere na azụmahịa nne na nna ya nke na-aga nke ọma. Ebe dị iche iche ọ rụrụ ọrụ mgbe ọ gụchara gụnyere Alumni Nigeria Limited, South Globe Limited, Tambri Limited, Jobiro The Change, bụ ebe o nwetara amamihe pụrụ iche ma site n'otu aka ahụ wee ṅomie ndị ọgbọ ya na ndị otu ya na-enye ọrụ. N'afọ 2016, Ọkammụta Chima Anyaso hapụrụ mmekọrịta ahụ jikọrọ Second Energy na Gas Control Oil Gas nke nwere ebumnobi na ikike pụrụ iche inye aka na iwepụ nsogbu mmanụ ụgbọala site n'inye ha na ụgbọala n'oge niile. Control Oil enyela ọtụtụ ndị mmadụ ndị ama ama n'ime Naịjirịa na mba ụwa ndị ọzọ dịka EMP nkwado ọrụ n'elu ala na n'oké osimiri. Ọkammụta Chima Anyaso guzobere SC&C Bureau de Change nke so n'ụlọ ọrụ nke mbụ nke dị ndị ụlọ ọrụ Bureau de Change nyere ikike n'aka ndị Central bọọlụ. O so n'otu ndị klọb Ikoyi nakwa n'ọgbakọ ụmụaba kpọrọ Ụmụaba Connect Association nke Nigeria. A na-anọ n'isi ọgbakọ nke ụlọ ọrụ dị iche iche. Ọkammụta Chimere hubere Ahụọma Anyaso Education Foundation. O hubere ụlọ akwụkwọ ọgbara ọhụụ a nke ọ rụrụ naanị ya, ebe ụmụ akwụkwọ ọta akara na ndị praịmarị na-agụ akwụkwọ n'efu kemgbe afọ 2019. Ọ na-akwụwakwa ndị ọrụ ụlọ ọrụ na-ekwenyekwa ụmụ akwụkwọ ihe eji ede ihe n'efu. Ụlọ akwụkwọ enyerela ihe karịrị ụmụ akwụkwọ 5,000 aka inweta agụmakwụkwọ bụ Igbo n'efu kemgbe afọ ole na ole gara aga. Site na mwube Chima Anyaso, ọ na-enye nleta ahụike n'efu n'ụlọ nzukọ omeiwu omeiwu nke etiti Bende. Kemgbe afọ ole na ole gara aga, ọrụ mwube ya enyere ihe karịrị ndị okenye 10,000 nleta ahụike n'efu n'okpuru ọchịchị 5 mebere ụlọ nzukọ omeiwu Bende. Ọkammụta Chima Anyaso na nwunye ya na-ebi nke ọma. Ọ gbadosiri mgbọrọgwụ n'ịzụpụta mmadụ ka ọ baa uru, inye ndị ntorobịa ọrụ na ịkwalite mkpa ọ dị mmadụ ịba uru n'etiti ndị ntorobịa. Ya na-aga na nwunye ya na-ebi n'udo na obi aṅụrị. Ekekere ụwa jikwa ụmụ gọzie ha. Ọkammụta Chima Anyaso bụ onye bụ n'uche ya bụ ime ihe ka e nwee mgbanwe dị mma. Etu a ka ọ ra m n'ọnụ. Ndewo n'olu.
Thank you very much. I got so speak.
Shout out to all the homies who believe in me, my music through the drive. Back to the city, they try to pull me down. I see on no DVD. They on the wall, I was saying, yo. They hate it cause I'm doing what I can do. All this is for the money that I handle. Who I could get large, how I got to get my thing, yo. Tired, I'm a chagaha. Them know me God, but to God, no who's chagaha. They make me feel like a boss, I'm a waka. I wouldn't pass you on the level. TV on a big boy's dashboard. One day me and Bala make a fine marketer, we go feel my rap. I got so disappointed to Allah, so I fixed this charge and find my way to Yamba. Waiting in bed with me and nothing more, so I still make a next more than enter house. And all fuck I hold me down there, so I can wait to make I reach my sis house now by the day. As I dey walk out the door, some boys block me. Before I know what's up, them don't come at me. Waiting to do, why you not wanna man? Them say guy, cool down, why you dey hash? We get business deal, we go give you cash. So they carry me, enter one place. When I sit full chair, so they grace. Them say if I fit bring 200 ton, them go give the phone what? 1 million. Before I go grow, I go get 10 million. I be you go back to the car for million. I shout my lie, my guy, I dey interested. No doubt, this could be a very nice investment. I don't get money, but my sister gets. As you see me so, I be my sister pet. But yesterday that my sister travel abroad, but she give me 300K for the landlord. I want to bring the money, but I don't want it abroad. So I fit give me 1K, make I enter drop. Then give me 1K there. They get that they wait, that no malaria. I walk out one, if I want to get a feed and rice in my tea, beans in my tea, I can share to your friend. Let's go. You wear the spaghetti, and a plantain. But they like it, they feel over. Let's go. I don't go back. If you get down, you will see a bar. So guys, keep your eyes on ground when you play a bar. They may have green, but they may not want us. In here, oh, guy, it's all she is. The same, oh, guy, it's all go one down. Let's go. So I'm the back and forth. So I'm the gara school. So I'm the Tugabu. Oh, Makabu, it's all about the Perua. I love it. It's all about Puru, and I'm a Cassia. It's all about me. Oh, I love me. Let's go now.
I love you all.
Is Bami on the day?
With that, I will proceed to his formal citation. Today, we proudly honor and celebrate a remarkable son of Ebonyi State University. A man whose journey from humble beginnings to national prominence inspires hope, ambition, and purposeful living. We proudly honor Dr. Chimaobi Desmond Anyaso, a visionary entrepreneur, a philanthropist of the highest order. and an advocate of human development, an exceptional embodiment of enterprise, vision, and service as a distinguished alumnus of this great institution. Born in Aba, Abia State, on the 16th September in the year of our Lord 1980, and proudly hailing from Ebonyi in the local government area of Abia State. Dr. Anyaso's remarkable academic journey began from the lecture halls of the Faculty of Humanities in this great university. So began an extraordinary story of enterprise, impact, and leadership. And I mean to say leadership, this leadership extended beyond the shores of this nation. And we are proud that such a person came from this very institution. Please put your hands together. The company quickly became a force in downstream trading subsector of Nigeria's highly competitive oil and gas industry. The success recorded by this company accumulated in the formation of another company, the second energy oil and gas limited, a company. At the end of this company, Dr. Chimaobi Anyaso exhibited a masterful understanding of business expansion, propelling it to the top tier of Nigeria's petroleum industry, crossing the remarkable milestone of $1 billion in revenue just in the second year. Please put your hands together. To Governor Oil and Gas. He also in real estate development with Timberland Properties and Investment. For those of us who come to Lagos from time to time, you would know the hospitality of the Corniche Hotel Limited. And the man, the guest lecturer of today, is a man who has dedicated his life to the well-being of those who are around him, has uplifted them out of poverty. Please clap for him. Through the Chimaobi Foundation, he has delivered free medical outreach to over 10,000 adults across Abia State and the Abia North Nigeria District in particular. A recipient of over 300 prestigious awards, among them the Forbes Rated African Achievers Award for Community Development. Vanguard Newspaper Real Estate Icon of the Year 2024. Entrepreneur of the Year by Champion Newspaper Year 2023. Dr. Anyaso is widely regarded as one of Nigeria's most decorated and impactful chief executives. Yet, he is much more than a businessman or a philanthropist. He's a committed Christian, a devoted husband to Adana, who is seated right in front of us. A loving father and an unwavering and tireless advocate of youth empowerment. And yearly, Dr. Anyaso's Foundation conducts youth empowerment throughout Nigeria. In his mission to build human capital, foster job creation, and champion the vision of a prosperous, inclusive Nigeria. Today, Ebonyi State University proudly salutes Dr. Desmond Anyaso as a distinguished alumnus, a man who has not only achieved personal greatness, but has used his success to uplift communities, empower the next generation, and leave an indelible mark on our nation. Gentlemen, this is the citation of the man this university has met, a man that has now etched his name in the history books of this August University. I thank you all for listening.
So having the
I know I can count on you to stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up.
I walked into about 26, 25 years ago with only my dream. I'm very emotional. When the Reverend Father was praying, tears dropped from my eyes. Because who could have ever imagined that 25 years later, a young man who only had a dream came to Abakaliki in 1999 when Waterworks Road was not tarred. We used motorcycle from Cass Junction to Isheke. You dare not wear white in those days, because by the time you return from Isheke, your white will turn to brown. That is the young man that stands before you today to deliver the first ever alumni lecture of this university. Abraham Mwali, the Chancellor of this great university, Professor Michael Okuta Nweke, Awoke, represented by the DVC, my fellow handsome brother, friend, my brother, I call him my ally, His Excellency Chief Nonso Ozelena, to reach all my friends who came from Abuja, Zota, and the rest that came all the way from Abuja for this event. Still on that protocol, I want to specially recognize and thank my dear friend and brother, the former Obingwa local government chairman and the Ugunabo Osisioma Obingwa candidate of the Young Progressive Party in the 2023 House of Representatives election, Honorable Ibe Moko. Let me also recognize all the women, all the beautiful women from Bende. Ndene Mama! And the past woman leader of the People's Democratic Party, Uju Lillian, gave me more than an invitation. It gave me belief. It gave me the courage to dream. And today, it gives me the honor to deliver the first ever distinguished alumni lecture. And so this is my story. a journey of grace and growth. You know, when the comedian was speaking, I picked up a few things. He said that grace follows. In everything you do, you must ask and pray for grace. The man standing before you today is a product of grace. So I would like to begin from a personal place, because the most powerful truths are born from real experiences. I was born and raised in the lively and ever-bustling city of Aba. I am proudly from Abia State, and even more proudly an alumnus of Ebonyi State University. I walked the same path many of you walk now. I sat in those lecture halls. I faced academic pressure. I wrestled with self-doubt. I even questioned whether my dreams would survive outside these gates. When I graduated in 2003 from the Department of English, Language and Literature, with a degree that didn't reflect my potential, many people quietly wrote me off. Some thought my story had ended before it truly began. But little did they know that I only came to grab the degree and run. And I grabbed it and I ran. But let me tell you, your result is not your reality. I refuse to let one degree define the rest of my life. I wore that degree as a badge, not of shame, but of determination. Greatness is not always born from accolades. It is forged in attitude. I chose growth. I devoured books. I asked questions. I sought mentors. I fell. I learned. I rose. And I kept running without my degree that I have grabbed and ran. I lead a group of companies under the Cadence Group with investment in oil and gas, real estate, hospitality, construction, and healthcare. We have created jobs, generated over $1 billion in oil revenue. And we worked with global giants like the likes of Vito, the likes of Total, and Mobil. But beyond the figures and boardroom, I found something deeper, which is purpose. Can I hear you say purpose? Purpose. Can I hear you say purpose? Purpose. So you must find your purpose. And when you find your purpose, you have started your journey to success. So my dear friends, education shouldn't be seen as an ornamental achievement, but as a functional instrument for personal growth and societal change. Let me be clear, education is not a certificate, it is not a title, it is not a grade. Education is a tool that builds you, shapes you, and equips you. True education begins after graduation. It lives in the risks you take, the failures you survive, and the reinventions you master, and then the wisdom you gain. That is why the comedian said, start now. Because if you say you want to wait until you graduate, they will leave you. You will not find anyone. So you must start now. While I was here in 1999, 2000, 2001, I was hustling. Gona, you can testify. I used to have the best snooker ball on campus. I used to jump 9 balls. Those days that I would go and say I don't come to class, I'm on the 9th bus going to Lagos to go and buy computers for House of Assembly members. Sometimes I would be on my way heading to Aba, Ebo Trans, and that one from Enugu. I was their steady customers because I was always on the road. If I'm not going to make shirts to sell to my fellow students or the bankers that were my friends, I'm going to buy curtains to fix in some of the government official houses. I was hustling. I did not just come here to make the first class. I was pursuing my purpose. So that's what led me back to school to earn a master's in management from the University of Lagos. You know, I never wanted to come to, unlike Zero, the musician that applied to come to Ebonyi University. Ebonyi University was not my 100th choice when I wrote JAM. And it's not that my JAM score was bad. I had 242 then. But by the time I had gotten the admission in Unilag, I realized that my O level was not complete. So this was how I ended up, because I didn't want to stay at home. This my younger sister here had gotten admission in Nsukka, and then she would be in school, I would be at home. I said, no, whatever school that is available, I am ready to. That was how I came to Ebonyi State University. But after I graduated, with whatever degree I came out with, I did not relax. I still went back to that University of Lagos that I wanted to go to. Now, not as an undergraduate, but as a postgraduate student. And I can tell you that today, I have 2 master's degrees from the University of Lagos. And one is currently in view. And I also did not stop there. I continued to an executive certificate, to get an executive certificate from the St. John's University in New York. Not for prestige, but for perspective. That is the same belief that led me to establish the Anyaso Education Foundation, a tuition-free nursery and primary school for the underprivileged children. Because no child's dream should be buried by poverty. I built the first modern nursery school in my community in 2007 at the age of 27 years old. That was my first investment. Immediately, I finished my NYC in 2005 from the Yanepaja in Lagos. I was already working before I went to camp. By the time I left camp, I went back to my office, the company where I was working, and immediately I started making money. I did that. I went to my community and I built them a modern nursery school. And today, we have moved from just nursery school to modern primary school. And I can tell you that since 2008 to date, we have graduated over 5,000 children. And they have never paid a dime. The teachers are well paid, and we make sure that at the end of every month, not every time, they receive their salaries. Because we want them to be happy to take care of those underprivileged children. Let me emphasize that the classroom is a seed, not a shelter. Let me speak directly to the students here today. Your classroom is not a shelter. It is a seedbed. Your degree is not your destiny. Say, my degree is not my destiny. My degree is not my destiny. It is only your starting point. Life outside this world won't hand you multiple choice questions. It will hand you pressure, setbacks, and opportunities disguised as problems. The world will not ask you for your certificate. It will not ask you for your competence. It will ask you for your competence, your creativity, and your contribution. So I urge you, don't just study to pass. Study to understand. Study to build. Study to lead. Read beyond your curriculum. Cooperate beyond your department. Experiment beyond your fears. Don't let anything hold you down. Start now. Build something now. You can make impact if you don't overcome fear. You will not make impact. You need vision, consistency, and courage. So you have to learn to build and prepare for leadership. If a person who has never engaged in enterprise or managed a business is elected to public office, public funds inevitably becomes their first business experience. And Nigeria cannot afford such costly apprenticeship. Some may argue that governance is about more than managing public resources. But let me be honest, it is not less than that. To secure the nation, you need funding. To close budget deficit, you need fiscal discipline. To build infrastructure, you need capital allocation. The thread that ties all this together is one word: money. How it is raised, how it is spent, and how it is accounted for. Governance is ultimately the management of collective wealth for collective progress. Now ask yourself, will you hand over the operating theatre from boardroom where balance sheets matter to ministries where budget determines future? The same rules apply. You can't give what you have never had the discipline to earn. The goal is not to discourage political ambition, but to elevate it, to show that entrepreneurship isn't just a career path, it's a leadership school. It is here that you will find your rank, refine your principles, and build a kind of legacy that will someday give you the moral authority and the economic wisdom to influence policies, shift paradigms, and rewrite the history of this nation. Say, yes, I can. Yes. Now, let me give you 6 nuggets that took me from classroom to boardroom. Number 1, start where you are. You don't wait for ideal condition. Add value from where you are. Like I said when I was here, I didn't wait to graduate before I started doing business. If you listen to my citation, I saw that there was a vacuum in the oil industry. I immediately jumped in to solve that problem. That is how Second Energy was born. And today, like you heard, Second Energy has done turnover of in excess of $1 billion. Number 3, never stop learning, formally or informally. Keep growing. I didn't stop learning, and I am still learning because I still have a master's degree in view. So you must continue to learn. Number 4, build people. Not just profit. Your team is your real asset. And this is one thing I never took for granted. I kept building, and today I am still building. Give back as you grow. If your success does not lift others, it is incomplete. Yes, sir. So, you heard how I built the first modern nursery school in my community. That is giving back. So as you grow, you must give back. And today, we are also going to give back to the institution that gave us so much. You have the project on your... So we're giving back to Ebonyi State University. It's going to be called the Chimaobi Study Pavilion or student decent place to refresh, rehearse, study, and interact. I am told that this project is going to cost us around 2 to 250 million. But we are happy to complete this project within the next 12 months. By the time we are coming back here for the 2nd anniversary, we will be commissioning this project. And I hope my SAN will be here with me. I have my dear friends who are going to assist me to make sure that this dream becomes a reality. Because they are all billionaires. So you don't have any fears. In the next 12 months, this project will become a reality. So now, I want to turn my words to the institution that nurtured my growth, challenged my potential, and molded me into the individual standing before you today. If we truly want to shape destinies, our institution must evolve. Let's redesign the curriculum to emphasize leadership, innovation, and entrepreneurship. Let's integrate soft skills and digital literacy into every course. Let's establish innovation labs and student venture funds. Let's make it mandatory for final year students to pitch real-world projects before graduating. EBSU become known not just for producing graduates, but for producing game changers. To my fellow alumni, it's time to give back. To my fellow alumni, we are more than past students. We are stakeholders now, and we must see ourselves as stakeholders and live by example. Let us mentor. Let us fund scholarship. Let us upgrade infrastructure. Let us open doors for others. If this university sowed a seed in us, now is the time to return as rainmakers to water the dream of the next generation. And to the students, own your story. What did I say? Own your story. My dear students, your future is not written in your grave. It is written in your creed. Some of the most successful people on earth started from failure, from rejection, from nothing. Use your setback as stepping stones. Turn your delays into discoveries. Start the blog, learn the trade, build that app, volunteer, and stay consistent. You are not too young to lead, not too small to matter, not defined by your result, but by your resilience. As I close, say to yourself, I am possible. So as I close, remember this, I am not a product of perfect condition. Like I said, while I was here in Ebonyi State University, I never saw beautiful tall buildings like this. Initially, we had only one-story building while I was there. Every other thing was like a poultry farm where you have chickens. That is where we learned. That is where we studied. That is where we wrote our exams. In those cages. But we did not allow it to limit us. Today, you even have fan, air condition. We never saw anything like that. So you are privileged children. Nothing should hold you back. So I'm not a product I'm a product of grace, grit, and growth. If a young man from Ibere in Bende, local government of Abia State, with a third-class degree, now you know. That is what I graduated, that is what I ran with. Proudly, I ran with my third-class degree. I had to put it in the closing remark so that you don't use it as your own to define yourself. It is not, you don't say because you have a third class, you should also have a third class. Our destinies are not the same. You must study and make the best of yourself. This was the best I could make for myself. With my God and the grace by my side, I am who I am today. So if I can build businesses, successful businesses, influence policies, and stand before you today, your story is still being written. Make it a story of courage, of creativity, of conviction. Let us redefine education, not as a destination, but as a journey. From classroom to boardroom, the theory to impact, from dream to destiny. Let's rise as we shape the future. Thank you. God bless all of you. God bless Ebonyi State University, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Chiba, Anyaso. Please, once it's seated, we'll go straight to good messages, and it's going to be just 3 persons. We'll check the group photograph after the event so that we'll summarize messages on behalf of Chima's friends. And to your dear sister, we recognize you. Thank you for the bundle, but you can make it too. Let me invite at this point the chairman of the organizing committee for vote of thanks. Please put the prof there. Can we put our hands together for Professor Philip?
The Ebonyi State University Alumni Association is hereby present a distinguished personality award to you as a distinguished member of EBSU Alumni Association. We are grateful.
A very good friend. I'm here to present artwork and make just 7 days before the very great event.
Money,